Alrighty, we're good now. Oh, sorry. Hold on one second. Okay, so posture. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this to where you can see my whole body. It's not working.
Oh my God.
Let me pull back a little bit more. Anyway, I think that's the best we're going to be able to do today. So if we can all just stand and let's just warm our bodies up, roll your shoulders back. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Roll your shoulders. And the reason why we do this is just to loosen up our shoulder and our neck muscles because we don't need them the way a lot of times we use them for singing. So we just want to loosen them up. Roll your shoulders forward. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Now make your head heavy and move it from side to side. Good. Now go all the way around without depressing the neck as you go back, but just in a relaxed way. You just kind of want your head to feel heavy and let it fall like a bowling ball wherever it wants to go. So then you lift your arms all the way up. And this is a back stretch. So if you reach for the sky and then you use your hips like a hinge and then drop forward. And your shoulders are really nice and relaxed and your neck is nice and relaxed. Okay. So you go down as far as you can. Your head is heavy, your arms are heavy. They're feeling slightly just pulled away from the actual shoulder joint. Just make them nice and loose. And then you want to come up slowly using your abdominals, one vertebrae at a time. You want to feel like you're stretching your vertebrae out. And come up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. One vertebrae at a time. Keep your head down and your shoulders down. That's the last thing to roll up. Okay? So let's try that again. Shift all the way up. And as you use your hips as a hinge, and you stretch all the way down. It's a nice stretch in your legs and your back, like you're trying to separate the vertebrae. So make your head as heavy as possible. Get all those back muscles, get all that tension out. And come up one vertebrae at a time, using your abdominals to pull yourself up. Your abdominals and your legs. Not your shoulders, but your abdominals and your legs. Your hamstrings and quads and all that good stuff. Pull yourself up. Good. So you want to stretch your back this way. Bring your arm up. Bring this arm here and stretch. Okay. Next arm. Wait, how do I do that? Okay. And stretch. Good. So now we're going to focus on our posture for singing. I think it's important to note because our chest should already be high and our shoulders should be relaxed and back. And the reason is we want to have an open chest. So in order to have that open chest feeling, You want that chest to already feel high, because when you breathe in, you don't want to do that, but you want the chest. If the chest is already high, then you can just focus on expanding the bottom of your lungs here. So you always want to feel, when you're singing, a sense of openness, which can lead to maybe some vulnerability. Even when you're running out of air for singing, you never want to kind of collapse the chest. The chest always remains high, okay? The head always remains with the chin level to the ground as much as possible. I feel like it's somewhat natural to pull up a little bit, especially if you're not singing opera or classical. It's kind of a natural thing to want to create space and do that. But if you find yourself doing it to the point where all of this becomes tense, then you should probably try to reset yourself and do your best to create a standard of just having your chin parallel to the ground. So everyone put your hands on your rib cage. And I want you to inhale, pushing the hands out. So in and out. In and out. And the reason why we do that is because the bottom of the lungs are sitting right in the bottom of the rib cage, and it's the widest part of your lungs, which means it can hold the most air. So we want the air in here, okay? So again, in and out. The other thing is, the reason why the space in our stomachs is expanding is because we're moving those abdominals out of the way, okay? So that the lungs have space to grow, to expand, I'm sorry. So again, breathe in and out. So I want everyone to go back to this down position and put your hands like back around your rib cage again. Relax your head and breathe in and out. And in and out. I honestly haven't sang all day, so I kind of needed the bend down technique. Just no, it wasn't working. Oh, in and out. Good. Breathe in and hiss. So just hiss for as long as you can. So good. Breathe in again while you're still bending over. And hiss again. So this time, you're doing a great job. Let's stand up. And let's try to do that again. You should feel a lot. You should hopefully start feeling more expansion now in your midsection and more support. Okay? So breathing in and good. So a key thing in singing well, two things is warming the body up for breathing, because you really have to warm up your body to support your voice, right? Which means getting there's all of these. Okay, so there's muscles in your rib cage that help to expand the rib cage, and then there's muscles in the rib cage that also help to, whatever the opposite of expand is, deflate, that help to deflate the rib cage. And so when we're talking about breath control, we're really talking about the balance, right? There's a counterbalance happening in your body when you're controlling that air. If we weren't controlling the air, we would just breathe in and go, like everyone just let the air out fast. Just the air just comes right out. But when you're breathing for singing, there has to be this counterbalance. So even though the air is leaving your body, you're actually engaging the muscles in your rib cage that help with expansion, that help with inhalation. So that's where that breath control comes, so that you don't let go of your air so quickly. So that's what we're trying to learn to control in order to control the pressure and the speed at which the air actually leaves our body. Okay? So, breathing in. So try it again. And now being aware now that what you're trying to do is keep the muscles that help to expand your rib cage engaged. Okay, so breathing in and goes. I hope there is a difference there. I hope there was a difference. Did we feel a difference?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Good. So, so now let's do some
Dileesa, I have a question for you.
Yes, who's talking?
It's Christina. It's me right
Hey,
here.
Christina. Yeah.
So, you know how I'm not sure which ways to expand. To expand, like in the front, like, or like to the sides.
It's actually everywhere.
Or is it's all of it?
It's all of it. It's in the front, in the front, in the back, inside, it's everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere. Like if you were to bend over and put your hands on your back, you'll feel back expansion as well. But I think it's good in the beginning to focus, because that was my question for my teacher as well. I actually do better visually thinking of expansion lower than like my belly button. I like to think of belly expansion, like more of a diaphragmatic type of a breathing where it's really low. But I think it's important to bring awareness that when you are breathing low, you're also expanding the rib cage. So all of that has to be happening, not one or the other.
Okay.
Because if you only focus on expanding just the rib cage, you may start to tense your abdominals, which you shouldn't be. So it's all of it. I just kind of chose one thing to focus on today.
All right.
Does anyone else have a question? No problem. No? Cool. So, oh my God.
Tomorrow, can we go to Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh my God, I can't. Okay. So, where was I? So I wanted everyone now to just do like some hissing exercises, right? And this helps you to learn to engage and release, engage and release, engage and release, and really learn to control those muscles, okay? So breathing in and maybe let's do it, I don't know, 10 times or something. So breathing in. So here's the thing. You may not be able to do it as quickly as I can, right? So if you have to go slow, like, that's totally fine as well, because the point is to teach your body to completely release the abdominal muscles when you're inhaling, and then engage them when you're exhaling. And that's kind of a coordination that isn't always quick to get, okay? So it's okay if you have to go a little bit slower. So breathing in, and Everybody good?
Yes.
So let's talk about air, right? Because I think the biggest fear that a lot of singers have, especially in the beginning of learning vocal technique, is running out of air, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So everyone, blow all your air out. Is it all gone?
Yes.
Now go, mmm.
Mm.
Do it again.
Mm.
Did you breathe in between the two?
Yeah.
Okay, don't do that. So, without breathing back in, let all your air out and then just go as long as you can, okay? Just and do a hum once you've let all your air out. So, mm. So I did that exercise because I feel like it teaches you that you always have reserves. So we always have more air than we think we do. So don't be afraid of running out of air. Just keep your posture. Another cool thing, letting all the air out is a really great way because, obviously it's hard to kind of address everyone when there's 20 people. So it's a really great way if you're having a hard time learning that abdominal breathing. If you let all your air out, everyone let all your air out. Now inhale. The body just does what it wants to do there. You see how natural that was? Yes? Was it natural for everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I think we were kind of discussing that in my class that sometimes if we reverse the way that we think about air, because when we think about breathing, we think air in, air out. But if we think about it the opposite way, air out, then air in, we usually get a better breath because our bodies kind of we need that air. So it allows the body to do what it wants to do instinctively. So that's a really good tip on breathing as well. So keep standing, please. Woo, woo. Hey everyone. So, do I have all ladies on here? So great. I can just play with one hand. So, I'm gonna go really, really slow because we're talking about air. So blow all your air out, and then I want you to breathe in and okay, blow all your air out. In. Sorry. Breathe in. Ooh. Thank you to the one singer that I can hear. You're awesome.
Are we supposed to be heard?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you do you mind putting yourself on mute just because if everyone did that, it would be like a lot of voices.
Okay.
But if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, okay? Perfect. No, it was just funny because it sounded like only one person sang, even though I'm sure everybody did. Yeah. So, the goal is to connect all those notes, okay? Sing it as legato, as smooth as possible with changing the notes. Try not to let your swallowing reflex get in the way. Ooh, that happens sometimes, right? Try not to let that swallowing reflex get in the way. Just keep it. Ooh. Ready? Breathe. So I'm going to add to it now because I really want to get you guys like kind of running out of air. So. You should still have air left over after that, but hopefully you'll start engaging more. So try, breathe. Huh? So, let's do a few more. So how about this? While you're doing this exercise, move your head from left to right. The whole purpose of this is to keep the back of your tongue out of the way, okay? That's the key to that smooth sound. If your tongue starts to seize up, it'll start to become choppy, okay?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I go higher, the note sounds crisp when it comes out. However, my lip keeps trembling. Is that something that will go away, or is it because I'm uncomfortable with the tone itself that my lip just keeps shaking?
You said when you go higher, it sounds clearer. So you like the sound, it's just your lip shakes.
Like moving as if I was doing vibrato. But the note
Yeah.
isn't vibrato, but my lip just keeps moving like it is.
Okay. I'm trying to find who's talking to me, but are you on the phone?
Well, it says like if I press
Okay, you're the one that's saying iPhone.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, hi Lisa, I can see you now. Okay, so that I want to say is normal, but not saying that it's good technique. But that is normal. I think it's good that you're putting energy into the front of your face in order to sing. But I would encourage you to focus more on your top lip than your bottom. I think sometimes you'd be like, ooh, like you're really, really tensing up because you're trying to get that really nice closed ooh. But your jaw and your bottom lip should really kind of be, I want to know if the word I want to use is incidental. Like they just happen to be there and you just happen to have to use them. But they shouldn't be your main source of energy or trying to create vowels. Vowels are created inside the mouth, and just try to use your upper lip to kind of stabilize. That's the word, stabilize. Use your upper lip to stabilize the vowel, not your bottom. So it should be more ooh than ooh, ooh. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think you were kind of maybe pulling your jaw forward, and it just shouldn't have been that involved. I hope that helps. Oh, sorry. Because if you really think about it, you can literally move your jaw in circles and still create that same sound. So then what is really helping to stabilize the sound? The top lip and the shape you're making in the back. Okay?
So, you said to move my jaw back.
It sounds to me like maybe do you think you're pushing your jaw forward?
Well, I'm doing like the kissy lips, so I think you hit it.
Yeah. Relax your jaw. So maybe in order for you to relax, because sometimes it's easy to say relax your jaw. You're like, okay, I thought I was. But so that's why it's good to just like counteract that desire to move your jaw forward with just moving it horizontally. Okay, so but so if you start moving your mouth around, it will make you not, here we go. It will make you not want to tense it up.
Mommy, I have nothing to do.
Okay.
What can I do? Mommy, what can I do?
I don't know. Talk to Kiara.
Can I play Roblox?
Okay, go. Thank you. Okay. Good. So shall we move on? Let's keep going. Sorry, I kind of messed up y'all's rhythm if you were dating with me. Good. Breathe. Shh. No one's laughing at you. Let's go down. Keep the voice forward. I saw something from Nicole. I don't know where to find it. Is this where I find it? I saw something. I saw a chat. Okay, there's chats. Ah, yes. If you're running out of air, it will come with practice. Yes. Yes. Well, that's why I did this. I kind of knew that this would be challenging, especially once I add that. I'm going really slowly. I'm asking a lot of you guys. I'm asking you to do this long legato phrase and then go back up and then come back down. That's a lot if you're not used to doing something like that. So yes, it just comes with time. Also, as your placement improves, it will get better. So right now, you might be what we call hypofunctional, like, it's really, really hard to do because you're letting too much air out. So that's where we talk about like vocal control is learning, and breath control, learning how much breath pressure we really need going through the vocal cords in order to make the sound. Okay? So let's just do some exercises that just focus on cord closure. Do you guys have straws? If you do, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Yes! Somebody has a straw. How do you just have a straw just there?
Can it be metal straws?
A metal straw?
You know, like made from metal. I don't know if it has.
I guess.
Yeah.
I have to go grab one really quickly.
Yeah, if you can, that would be awesome. Shanifa, what was the question?
Shani believe.
Will it happen over time? I think that was your question. I'm sorry. I read it and then got distracted. Are you supposed to have air left over? I mean, I have air left over just because I've kind of trained that for a while. But over time, you will have air left over. And again, a lot of times it has to just do with how much air you're letting out. Don't put pressure on yourself to be loud. I think that hurts a lot of people. When you want to be loud, you tend to use more air, even though you don't need that much air, and you shouldn't expect your voice to have that much volume. So it's really about learning your body and how much pressure you really need in order to create the sound. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get a straw myself. Oh.
Okay, I couldn't find a straw, but I like dismantled a pen. I don't know if that'll work. The same.
I think that's gonna work. Yeah, she went to let the straw.
In my camera.
Okay.
My friends. Mm-mm.
I got like I took apart a pen. I don't know if that'll work.
Okay. Nobody is laughing with you. Stop before I kick you out.
No.
Okay. All right. So.
I have a question about one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you go up and you go ooh, so like what if you so if the higher you go, at some point your voice is gonna break. When you come down, like I don't know, I think this is like more so of like what I've seen happen. Sia, she does that with her song Alive. She like cracks a lot. So if you practice just going up and down really quickly, you can smoothen that out. But like if you were to like transition really fast without catching that, is that how you have those vocal breaks?
So you said if you go up and down quickly, you can smooth it out. But then if you transition,
you said over time you have like a easier transition and it isn't like noticeable when you have your break. So if that cracks, like is that healthy? Because like I can get high to an extent, but then after that it just kind of breaks off. But I want to be able to increase my range, but it's hard to do that if like I'm discouraged from the breaking point. Because I can't make a break sound pretty yet, so it just sounds like a bunch of like nasty stuff. So
what's your question?
So like how do you basically it's like how do you, if you do have vocal breaks, how do you make that sound beautiful so that it's not as discouraging, just in case you do mess up like for on stage or something?
Okay, so yeah, Sia sings with a lot of vocal breaks, and I definitely think it's out of choice and not.
So
I don't think she. Is it healthy?
Because if so, I'll like I'll perfect it and like just get over the fact that I can't like hit certain things and then go back to my my chest voice. But like if it's not healthy, I don't want to practice something wrong. I'll just increase my range, and if I can't get it, I'll keep going.
Okay, I guess I feel like you're kind of blending two ideas together. One is range, right? So you have range, regardless of whether it's in chest voice, mixed voice, head voice, you have your range. But feel like what you're asking is how to build make your chest voice range higher,
Yeah.
right? Like bring your chest voice higher, bring your belt up higher. And I feel like you're asking 3 questions. You're asking how to sing through your passaggio smoothly, number 1. Number 2, how to bring your chest voice up higher. So the answer to number 1 is, can you bring your chest voice up higher? Most likely, yes, you can. And these techniques will help you because it will help you bring your voice forward, lift your soft palate. And then from there, you're learning the amount of pressure that you need in order to actually get to those higher notes. It could just be that you're placing the voice too far back. And so you kind of feel like you hit a ceiling, but if you bring the voice more forward, you're more resonant, you'll get more notes out of your belt. Your second question, most people prefer to smooth out their passaggio because it just sounds better and you don't feel as limited. So
Right.
even if you bring your chest voice and you're, up to an F or an F sharp, which is pretty high, you wouldn't really need to sing higher than that. This girl's about to get kicked out. I'm sorry. It's not funny. Even if you were to sing that high, I feel like it's still important. Like at some point you're going to go into a head voice regardless, but I think it's important to know what the techniques are in order to make that as smooth as possible.
Okay.
That being said, I mean, you're asking if that's good technique. I don't know if I could just say, yes, it's great technique to make your voice break like that. I don't think it promotes anything good about technique. I think it's a violent break of registers. I think it sounds violent because it is violent to your vocal cords. And I think that it's better to train your vocal cords to do something consistently and gradually as opposed to abruptly. It's just better. It's just better for overall vocal technique.
Okay.
I think you should read up on Sia's vocal health because from what I understand, she's had a lot of challenges as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, any other questions?
How do you know the difference between a falsetto and a natural voice?
When you say natural, you mean? Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know whether I'm falsetto when I sing or if I do natural voice. I'm so confused. Like I don't know which one is which. And
It definitely feels different. Like everyone's voice has different weights. So there are some people that their voice is just light. Even in their full chest, it's just a lighter sound, but it's a more intense sound. The way that I would describe it is there's more pressure in your throat. There's more pressure in your body. You're engaging your abdominals more. There's more pressure on your vocal cords coming together, and you can feel that. It's just a more intense feeling to create a more intense sound.
Okay.
So if you're not sure if you're belting, you're probably just in a really good head voice, and you may have one of those voices that it can easily be blurred, so people can't really usually tell you whether you're one or the other.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like an untrained ear, it may sound the same to them, but to you would be able to feel the difference if you were in a full belt.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there would be a lot more, and there would be a different type of consistency from low to high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other questions before we move on? Good? We're good? We're good? Okay.
Question.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Does it take more air to sing the high notes versus the low notes?
Short answer, yes.
Okay.
It does. More specifically, it takes more air pressure. But yes, in general, you need more air. You need more space and more air in order to sing higher notes versus lower notes. And in general, high notes, if all things being equal, if you're singing in the same style, the same way, higher notes are naturally louder than lower notes. Higher pitches are naturally louder than lower pitches. So, I did everything the same, but the low notes started off a lot softer than the high notes, which is important. So if I'm doing ah, but I'm going ah, ah, if I'm getting quieter, then I know I'm pulling back and I'm not engaged as much as I should be. So yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Questions? Okay, so what I want us to do with this is
Is it over for questions? It is.
do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I know in practice the other day you were telling me that I needed to learn how to project more. So I'm definitely trying to figure out how to do that. I know over time it's definitely going to come, but my assumption is that lip rolling kind of gives you some type of an idea of what it should feel like or the type of air pressure that you should have when you're singing. But my thing is that even in that, sometimes I feel myself maybe not projecting as much as I should, if that makes any sense. So it's like any other, I know you were telling me to do the Weo in more of a chest voice, but like I noticed that when I talk, I kind of talk a little bit hard on my voice, if that makes any sense. So it's like I'm trying to figure out how to sing without pushing, because like I was saying before, I would hate to sound like I'm trying for something. I'd rather just naturally accept what I have besides trying to force it. So is it true that lip rolling would be something that would be a good gauge to help me kind of figure? I know, like I said, it's just something with time. So it's like, it's kind of a hard question to even ask. But I'm just trying to figure out how I could figure out how to get some type of a starting point to just know. Because I know you were saying to do the wheel, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, am I pushing too hard? Or so should I just use a lip roll and then gradually go to the wheel, or how should I go about doing
That's
that?
a great idea. That's a great idea. Like humming, and then like it should all start to feel like you're using the same amount of pressure for each one. Well, it differs slightly because there's something coming against your lips, so you can feel it more. Whereas like what we're going to do with the straw, there's no resistance, so it's just kind of all on you.
Okay. And then I just have one more question. I'm gonna let you get to what you're doing. I'm sorry. But when I'm hitting high notes, for me, it's easier when I kind of fall back. But it's almost like, how am I trying to say? I feel like I'm almost swallowing my sound, if it makes any sense. When I'm able to hit the note, but it's not like
On what?
In regards to hitting a higher note.
Okay.
I know it's easier for me if I fall back. That way I can actually achieve the note, if that makes any more sense. But you were saying that it kind of takes more air to hit the higher notes. But for me, it's almost like in order for me to achieve it, I kind of have to baby voice it in a sense. So it's like, like I said, I'm able to hit the note, but I'm not able to do it in full power. So again, is that something, again, with lip rolls would pretty much be able to help solve that, or how would that work out?
I think you're trying to like stuff a whole pie in your mouth without slicing it or taking a bite from the fork. So
Okay.
everything that I'm teaching you will answer your questions, but you've got to be willing to like just do one step and then the next step and then the next step and then the next step until all the steps get you to the point where you go, whoa, I can sing high notes now without my voice falling backwards. This is awesome. Whoa, I get it now. Now I know how to do, you know what I'm saying? Like what happens is you're going on this journey brick by brick, and then you look back and you're like, I just built a house.
Gotcha.
What in the world? That's what's going to happen. Okay. So that being said, let's go with this. Okay. So, all right. So it's super simple, but I did it the other day, and it really just kind of leaves you open to what is happening in your voice. So if you were to just do, it really teaches how much stability you need in order to get through a tone. All right. So try that. It'll even make you more aware of your onset. And your onset is basically how you even start a sound. You'll feel that, like, wait, what? So So for those of you who don't have a straw, that works as well, okay? Just as well. But I do think a straw, because there's just no resistance from the lips, really helps you feel how you're creating your sound. So does that, everyone understand now? I hope it makes it really clear the amount of breath pressure that you need in order to get through these longer phrases, because you kind of want, you start to get aware of the vibration that's happening in your, with your vocal cords. You feel that. You feel the vibrations that's supposed to be happening in your vocal cords. And it's like you want to keep, you want to maintain that. When first taking a breath, does your stomach go in or out? When exhaling, is it going out or in? When you first taking a breath, your stomach should expand, so come out. And when exhaling, it should go in. Okay? Hold on 1 second. 1 second, Kay. So let's just give me 1 second, guys. You singing, baby?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When you're singing, do the muscles that you use when going to the bathroom engage? Yes. Yes, they do. It's really good to think about your pelvic floor, which is like all the way down here. If you think of expanding down to your pelvic floor, you'll have a better, you'll definitely feel a lot more grounded. And if you sing as if you're trying to maintain that pelvic floor expansion, you'll be a lot better off. So let's do something else with this straw. Oh, my bad. Let's do it again. Hopefully with this, you're not going into hypofunctionality where there's too much air. Hopefully with each tone as you go up through this chord, the sound feels like it's moving forward. That's how high notes should be. 3. So now let's go the opposite way. That's kind of advanced. Might be a little hard. Good. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So, so one key thing that we want to remember. She left. Okay. So one key thing that we want to remember is that as you're singing, start the air. Tell yourself you're starting the air before you start the note. Because some of us have glottal attacks where we go, ah, 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 and it should feel more like, so that's why I'm saying this makes you really aware of your onset. It should really be about engaging the air, then putting the voice. Okay, that's the healthiest way to create sound. So. Let's go below the staff a little. Good. So now. Try that. Good. So, like Crystal was talking about with lip trills, can anyone does everyone know why we do lip trills? Why they're important? What we're doing with lip trills? Does anyone want to jump in, say something? It's okay if you don't. I can just explain it myself.
Because they allow you to. Oh my God, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, your vocal cords are not straining, right?
Like resonance, vocal resonance, I think.
Very good. Very good. I feel like it serves several purposes. I feel like it prepares your body to sing because it's really a diaphragmatic exercise. So you're telling your body how much pressure it needs to have, you know what I'm saying, how engaged it needs to be in order to support your voice. It's great for kind of tricking you into focusing on just the lip trilling, so you're not so focused on the actual notes. The notes don't feel high because your throat is just wide open, right? And I know people can botch everything. A perfectly good exercise like lip trills, you'll find somebody clenching their teeth or doing something that's gonna create that holding. But the point is to have a relaxed tongue, relaxed throat, relaxed jaw. Don't do it with your teeth clenched. So what I found is it's easier to teach lip trills from the top down. Like if you just go, So it's it's similar to what we were just doing with the. You start with the air. It's a big rush of air. You're telling your body that it needs to support something big, and then carry that support low. Okay, so don't. Once your body is engaged, keep that, okay, in order to get through the rest of the phrase. So let's just kind of throw our voices a few times. So. Very good. So the challenge can be sometimes just starting on like a middle C. So let's just do. Okay. The goal is, again, supporting your voice. So I'm going to make you do things that are going to make you feel like you're running out of air. Okay. So. Breathe. 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 And this is just a slide. Yeah, that's kind of difficult. Sorry for those of you that struggle on the last one. Sorry about that. That was kind of high. So. Breathe. So let's do the famous wall drops, okay? So, ready, breathe. Oh, one more thing. So even though I'm going, da, 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 ooh, I'm totally fine if you just kind of slip and slide through there, just for the sake of like getting through it quickly. Doesn't have to be. I can imagine that would make you kind of clench up. So wear these notes like a loose garment. Okay? Okay, let's continue. Get out. Ready? Breathe. No, let's do. The purpose of this is to not break your voice. It all has to sound even. So if you have to slow it down, maybe I'll just slow it down because I really want you to feel how one note bridges into the next in that forward resonance. Okay? All right, let's go that slowly. Make sense to everyone? Okay. So we can do that way you're staying really engaged, okay? Go down. This is all about being connected to the breath. Everything should feel like you're doing this. It should be a gentle up and down. You just put water on it. You can't use it. Last one. That got hard toward the end. I've never done it that slow. Good. So this one's kind of difficult. Not that they haven't all been this far, you know, but I just feel the need to announce. This one's a little difficult. He, he. It's supposed to be faster. He. We'll slow it down. He. So again, keeping your voice in that same placement without going in and out of your head voice, without going in and out of hypofunctionality. Say okay? And we're kind of in an odd place. You should kind of be in a mostly chest right now. So, okay. Ready? Breathe. Breathe. So this is how I look. He. Okay? Okay. So I think earlier we were going like, yeah, that's this, but vocalizing, okay? This is a really good one, like, if you're not quite getting it right now, which there may be some of you that are just like, well, what the heck is going on? This is a really good one to just like go back and review. Because there's a little more coordination that goes into doing this one. So again. Ready, go. Sorry, I suck. Ready, go. So I just kind of, I know I sped it up on the way down, but it's because there's some people out here that did kind of get it and probably wanted to speed up. So again, this is being recorded, so you can go back and watch it over the next week if you so desire and try to get these down. Me, 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 ma, mo, mo. Then breathe. Me, me, ma, mo, mo. Breathe. Sorry. Sorry, let's start over. Ready, go. So the technique behind this is every vowel needs to go in the E space, okay? Mi, me, ma. So you don't have to open up as much as some may think we need to in order to get to an e, a, o, u. So mi, me, ma, everything's in that E space. Should all of these are connected. We're all trying to create a sound that sonates here, okay? Mi, me, ma, mo, mu, mi. Okay? The key is simplicity. So breathe. Mi, me, ma, mo, mu. Breathe. Mi, me, ma, mo, mu. Mi, me, ma, mo, mu. Breathe. Mi, me, ma, mo, mu. With every time you go up, your pressure should be increasing. You should feel more pressure in your abdominal. Breathe. It should almost feel like a straight up crunch at this point. Okay, good. Questions?
Oh, I have a question. So every time I go up, this tense up, like muscles right there tense up.
So put your hand here.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal is to keep this loose. So you kind of like almost like you're massaging it with your thumb while you're singing. Okay, if you swallow,
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty strong muscle right there, right? And the thing is, we need those muscles to survive, right? That's why we don't choke on our food, right? That's how food gets down. So we have to just train it to get out of the way when we sing, okay? Try that.
I think it's just a reflex.
So why don't you just try it on like just vowels, just.
I can do it when I'm like thinking about it hard.
Okay. So yeah, that's a great way to just make sure that you're not pulling up on your tongue muscles to sing. So that's probably, so what would probably be good for you, not this exercise, it would be weird, but like wiggling your tongue while you, even, again, if anything in our body wants to pull up, we can counter that by moving left to right.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeps everything loose.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So it should be always relaxed, like ideally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole thing.
Right.
That's why I say it really does take 1 to 2 years for it to become subconscious, because there's so many things that we just do naturally that we're not even aware of that get in the way of our singing. Preguntas, más preguntas. No more questions? Okay, let's keep going. We have 9 minutes left. Since no one has questions, we can just keep doing vocal exercises, which is totally fine with me. Okay. So let's start a little higher. Wee. Nah, that's pushing it. Let's start here. Wee, 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 wee. Okay. I know that last note sounded really chesty. Throw that away. Wee, 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 wee. Okay. I do want everything to stay floaty and bright. You all right? Okay. Ready? Breathe. Wee, 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 wee. So a thought came to my mind. The W, here's my chalkboard. The W, the consonant is actually in a line of a ooh, right? Wee, wee, wee. So be sure that that ooh is sounding before you open those lips, okay? That's going to help you get through the rest of the phrase. So you can't just go like, because it won't sound. The air always has to sound like it's in front of the sound. So the other thing, because I can't hear you guys, but I know what people generally do, so let me just correct it, is you tend to go wee, wee, wee. I want even syllables. Wee, 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 wee. Okay, does that make sense? Give it equal treatment. All right, let's do it. Where are we? Wee. There we go. Wee, wee. So let's go. Ready? Breathe. Wee, 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 wee. I suggest you do this, moving your head back and forth. Good. Sound going out forward. Let's go down. My bad if I just jack that up. I don't know how many people stopped because I stopped, but let's do it again. Ready? Breathe. I'm over it. Us too. Last one. Good. So it's the last like 3 minutes. So I just wanted to, again, if you guys had any questions, let me know now. What I want you guys to do over the next week is totally fine if this is, you're just like, look, I just want to come here and do my 90 minutes. This is like kind of a 90-minute strength training type of a thing, and you just come in and doing it. That's totally fine. But if you want to, I encourage you to just look over these exercises, because we're probably going to do a lot of the same things next week. And what happens is, as you continue to do them, you'll just become a lot more efficient. You'll be using your air much more efficiently.
Right.
You'll just be using your body much more efficiently. And it'll start to feel easier and sound better at the same time. So those two things just kind of grow at the same time. It feels easier and it sounds. Don't smile. No, you cannot smile. You guys have avoided smiling with her all this time. That's what she wants.
But she's so cute. She's adorable.
I know, she's precious.
Thank you. She knows. So,
I've totally been smiling this whole time. I've been on mute and I've been blocked, but I've been smiling this whole time. She's the cutest.
And
thank you.
She's actually been very good.
Thank God. I mean, considering that the rule was don't come in at all.
Well.
Yeah, I was just like, I can't even deal with her because we're recording. I can't even say what I want to say because this is being recorded. So, and she knows it. She knows when I'm trapped. That's why she's. So, but yeah, if you could please just go over these, because what happens is you become more and more and more efficient. I do lip trills, and I've trained for a really long time. And when I go into my voice lessons, I'm still doing lip trills. I'm still doing a lot of these exercises. They don't go away. You just get better at them. You get more efficient, and then you can start doing larger leaps and you start doing them faster and all of that. But these really are the groundwork that it takes to improve your voice. So I just want to thank you guys for coming this week.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Aw.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Aw, you guys are so welcome.